We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Embrace not love, for love in my embrace will grow cold, wither, and die. Hello, it's Tuesday night, so that of course means we're playing Valley by Night, our Vampire 5th Edition Chronicle. I'm your storyteller for the evening, Jason. And with me as usual will be Eric playing Samuel, Decca playing Blackjack, Sarah playing Jolene, Rap playing Maeve, and Duba playing Alexander. Oh yeah, completely forgot to mention. Brought to you by Dire Bear and the Nerd Eternal. You know, you can catch all the Dire Bear stuff right here on this channel, all the Nerd Eternal stuff over at thenerdaternal.com. Alright, now, last session was kind of a night in the life of, and we wrapped up Jolene taking care of getting Lee a babysitter. Let's see. Let me check my notes. Yeah, Jolene gets Lee a babysitter. Takes him up north into what was the old gangrel territory. Blackjack has a run-in with some potheads. Maeve's sire Colin pops up out of nowhere and kind of lectures her a little bit. And Alexander is visited by the Clan Nosferatu whip, who explains to him that grandmother Dorcas, the clan's primogen, would like him to keep an ear out on kind of what his coterie's up to. They've heard some rumors that Samuel's looking for something, and they're just curious as to what it could be. Nothing out of the ordinary for the Nosferatu. They are dealers in secrets. Let's see.
Did you ever mention, was Noah a thin blood as well, or was
he was a caitiff. He was clanless. But no, he was of at least the 13th generation. He was a full vampire.
Okay.
And I think the session more or less wrapped up with Samuel trying to eat waffles. And failing miserably.
Trying his best.
Yeah, that was more of the player forgetting the that rule bit there.
Well, if your humanity had been a 7, you could probably have kept it down. You're just not that good at faking being human anymore. And I think Jolene and Samuel had a little tiff there in the not Waffle House. Well, I guess the tiff was a little one-sided. Jolene was upset about something.
Jolene is always upset about something.
That's true.
She is quintessential grumpy cat.
It's like, I'm a thin blood, I am angry about something, because something's probably trying to kill me right now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be Vampire Society if something was trying to kill you.
That is true. I mean, from the oldest to the youngest in Vampire Society, if something's not trying to kill you, it's at least thinking about and planning to kill you.
Yeah.
So the sun is setting. It is Friday, January 26th. Oh, one thing I did forget from last session. Samuel got a call from Jackie Pearl, one of the younger apprentices in the Tremere Chantry.
Yep.
Just asked him if he had seen the Primogen, because Alejandro was supposed to be giving them a lesson. He had missed, which was extremely unusual, to the point that I doubt any of the young apprentices had ever seen him miss an appointment.
Yeah.
At least not without some kind of notification. Though she did text Samuel later, letting him know the Primogen had shown up. So it wasn't like an emergency or anything. So now on the 26th, everyone's awakening. How hungry is everybody?
Find
That's a
out.
good question.
Find out.
Everybody give me growls rolls. Blackjack gets hungrier. Maeve gets hungrier.
Oh,
Samuel's fine.
Jolene, tend it.
Yep. Jolene is super not hungry.
Still being fueled by spite.
That's one way to put it.
And Alexander gets hungry. All right. So where is y'all's hungers at?
2.
2.
3.
I'm good for now.
Okay, so nobody's higher than 2.
No.
No, Alexander's 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear him.
Sorry, I said I was up to 3 now.
Oh, okay. All right, so first thing in the evening, is anybody going to bother to hunt? Or are you just going to ride with what you got?
Right, what I got.
I'll let it ride for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same.
Not quite sure if it'd be wise for me to not hunt? Question mark?
Well, you just be adding 3 hunger. You just have 3 hunger dice in every roll. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, I might as well do it.
All
I'll
right.
say from my own experience, 1 and 2 is okay. When you hit 3, you're
It's like
Go get it right.
you're treading the line.
it's like there's a tipping point that 3 is hitting that tipping point.
Yeah.
3 is the midpoint between 4 and 5 in frenzy, and 1 and 2 in being fine.
Well, the thing with like 3 and up, I think, is you have to start making like checks to avoid going into frenzy if blood gets spilled near you.
Yeah, there might be a little complication like that.
But
That's perfectly fine. I'll do a little bit of hunting tonight.
All right. And you are a farmer,
Farmer.
predator type.
Though, since technically I don't have a little herd or anything in my area set up just yet, gonna have to resort to other methods, of course. So probably doing a little bit of a hunting expedition, as it were.
So you're going to go down in the sewer and hunt rats? Are you just going to wander the neighborhood hunting unattended pets? What are we doing?
Navistrate.
As much as they are akin to me, I'll munch on a few of the little tiny critters of the sewers. Why not?
Ready?
juice box them.
I mean, that's pretty much what I'm going to have to do is juice box the poor little buggers.
Just what Jason did, I just imagined him just like Alexander's like snorting a line of rats, like.
Visual.
I know.
Tail hanging out the nose.
That's creepy. I'm gonna make that my next D&D monster.
If I say, hold on, give me a second, I got a few reps to get. Oh, that's the good stuff.
Alright, so give me its composure, animal kin.
Okay, so.
I thought we usually did survival when we were hunting.
No.
Animal kin was if it was domesticated, like
Oh, that's true, that's true.
Blood
Deck is hurt, or Blackjack.
Actually, does Alexander have some animalism?
I believe
he
so.
does.
I mean,
I don't think he has animalism. No, he does.
No,
I know it's something
he has a
Nosferatu have
familis.
access to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, he has it because I
animalism.
remember he has a familis, so he does have animalism.
Okay.
Yeah, he has animalism. Okay.
Alright, go ahead and add a dice for your animalism. I mean, if you can talk to animals and make them do things, it stands to reason it's going to be easier to hunt them.
So, you're gonna hit This button up here. And then modifier 1, right?
Yes.
To remind the audience, we are all brand new.
Brand spanking new.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Woo!
I have some
5 out of
experience
7.
from standard and V20, but V5 is a little bit new to me as well.
Yeah,
5 successes.
I've played some revised, but that was about it.
Yeah.
That was many moons ago.
Revised was my first introduction to.
I had the second edition books, but could never find anybody around here to play regularly, so I just read all the crap.
I mean, the V20 I really loved. That's what sort of gave me my love of the Tremere clan. Is there's so much interesting stuff to them. That and all the different paths of their blood sorcery was just like, I heard you like flinging lightning and basically being Zeus.
You had all that stuff in revised. V20 put it all in one package where you could find it, though.
Yeah,
Because you had
that's what I liked
two or
about V20.
you had 2 or 3 thaumaturgy books that I've got, like one of them.
Mm-hmm.
All
That's
right.
nice stuff.
Gonna be Black Adam? Because you're gonna be
Okay,
Black Adam.
so
All right, so that's 5 successes on your hunting roll.
That ain't bad at all.
5 out of 7.
Yeah, that's like super not bad. All right.
Lucky me.
Mm-hmm.
For now.
So let's see. Hunting in the sewer, I'm going to say, is equivalent to a slum, skid row, public housing project, yada yada yada. Just because there's no people down there to be getting in your way. There's plenty of, if you're hunting rats, there's plenty of rats in the sewer. So that means you got 3 extra successes.
So he really did get that line of rats.
Just found a bunch of them, like all grouped together in a box.
It's like
with
he
parsley.
He just walked by a big swarm of them, with his animalism. Ignore me. All right. Well, let's see. With those extra successes, you can easily reduce your hunger down to 1.
Alright, I'll take that. I'm down to 1 hunger. I can live with that.
Hey.
I won't be going slightly psychopath.
Yet.
Not because of hunger, at least.
Yeah, not because of hunger.
Let's see. I did want to do something tonight, though. 2 things, actually.
Oh, what is that?
Well, first off, because of the rules regarding touchstones, Samuel is going to basically go online to basically like Facebook, and he's just going to check on Samantha and, because I'm a nerd, Dompe, who are his touchstones, with everything that happened. Just see if they were affected in any way.
All right. Let's see here.
Samantha is a trauma nurse that works at Huntsville Hospital. And
The receptionist / nurse?
yeah, she works in the trauma ward.
Okay.
And Dompe is a gravekeeper
Oh, wait,
that tends the cemetery that that has some of Samuel's grave dirt in it.
Oh. I was looking at the wrong character sheet on his touchdowns when I was talking earlier. I see now.
I figure like after a big shakeup like that, he's gonna make sure that they're all right, because touchstones.
Well, let's see. Samantha, you could run into at the hospital without any trouble.
Well, Samantha doesn't work at his hospital.
Oh! Did she work over it?
Yeah, the thing when I was reading through touchstones and convictions, how they're working it in V5, they have to be someone you really don't interact with. Like, it's just someone who you've seen that reminds you
That you
part
creepily
of
watch from a
humanity.
distance.
Pretty much.
Yeah. We are the monsters.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You managed to swing by either her house, or, walk by her neighborhood, or possibly you could get to the hospital before she got off and kind of, watch her walk to her car or something.
Mm.
Or you could swing by the graveyard, this late, he'd probably be finishing up whatever he was doing for the day.
Yeah. Yeah, basically he's just doing a brief little round trip just to check up, make sure they're doing all right, and then he'll go back to his house again.
Okay. Yeah, usually he's Samantha. She's walking out to her car with her cell phone. She's chewing the fat with somebody. Complaining to somebody about, her... whoever her significant other is, boyfriend, husband,
Yeah. And, alright. And then when he gets back to his house, he's going to start doing some research.
Okay.
He's going to utilize his library to start doing research on rituals that have anything to do with fire, Rostrick, and the Red Fear.
Something has got him interested in fire.
Well, what burned down the chantries?
Fire. And Inquisitors.
Yeah.
If this was in the 80s, the Red Fear would be something else.
Yeah. Well, that's the Red Fear and Rostrick are the same thing. It's the English translation of the German word.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You've been at home just a short period of time when there's a knock on the door.
Do you want me to make any kind of roll for my research?
Not right now.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I don't know that you really have to make rolls to successfully research something, or if you just spend the XP. If it's something already written in the book.
Well, it's maybe because that's part of the thing with the library is it gives you extra dots to research specific subjects.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's
that'd be
what
to come up with information on it. Okay, go ahead and give me a roll. It wouldn't be. This wouldn't be to learn a ritual or something, but to learn basic information on the subject.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Is he's trying to see if there's any information that he might be able to pursue. This be academics?
Is there an occult anymore?
Yeah,
There is. Yeah, there is occult.
Yeah, this would be occult then.
Occult, okay. There. Right, occult. Occult intelligence? Question mark?
Yeah, let's go with that. That seems like that ought to be it because you're not. It might be wits or something if you were in a hurry.
Yeah, no.
But this is just I've got the night off. Do a little personal research.
I think the library is. I want to say it's +1 or +2. 1 second. So I'm glad I have the PDF. It's great. Library. Okay, yeah, it's just 1 for a 1-dot library.
No.
That's what I've got.
It's probably a dice per dot or something.
Yeah. Ooh. Only 1 success. Oh.
Yeah, you start reading up on it.
Yeah.
It's clearly something that's afflicted, vampires throughout history. There's a quote from the Book of Nod where I believe it's the Archangel Michael basically curses Cain to fear fire. There's a few other kindred scholars that have kind of studied it and tried to beat it. There's rumors that the Sabbat may have a ritual that involves them jumping through flame to try to overcome the fear of it. The writer doesn't put a lot of stock in that, simply because he sees the Sabbat is insane. So,
Yeah. Okay.
and as I said, you're there, you're researching for a little while, and there's a knock on the door.
I'll go over towards the door. Yes.
A message for you, sir.
From?
Marcy, Miss Marcy,
Miss Marcy, that is the...
Keeper of Elysium.
Scroll. Yes, the Harpy. Okay. I love having a codex for this.
Well, her official title is Keeper of Elysium, but yes, basically,
Well, yes.
she's the Harpy.
I'll have that written down to have Marcy, Toreador Harpy, Keeper of Elysium. He'll open the door.
There is an Elysium being called for this Sunday night. The prince has some sort of announcement to make to all of his subjects.
I see.
It will be at the old bank building.
Very well.
Which, you having lived here in town, you know they have Elysiums at the old bank semi-regularly.
Right.
And he takes his leave of you. You know, he's just one of the couriers. You don't know his name. You know, you've seen his face. He's brought you messages before.
Yeah.
The Prince and Primogen are... You guys are careful about using technology. The Prince and the Primogen are almost paranoid about it. He does tell you that he trusts that you will inform the rest of your coterie. As not all of their havens are as well known as yours.
Yep. Fortunately, despite it being well known, it's also where pretty much the entirety of the high up of the city
Yes,
live.
and that is a slightly unusual situation. But they have found it so easy to protect the ledges that they moved more of you kind of in there when the coterie, the chantry was burned.
Yeah.
Alejandro stayed there for in a house there for a while. He has his own haven somewhere hidden now, probably in around one of the colleges.
Yeah.
As that is the Tremere clan's domain.
Yep.
Blackjack,
Yes,
you get up, and I assume you take care of the farm.
of course.
Let's see, the junkie was supposed to come back during the day and fix your door, was he?
Is it done?
Yes.
Go test it a couple times.
It seems sturdy. It sticks a little bit at first, but it's just where, he had painted it and then shut it while the paint was still wet.
Oh, okay, I was gonna be like, some of these people don't believe in WD-40. Not bad.
So you get out, you
Any-
take care of your cows.
As I'm taking care of everything, is he like in the area? I'm like working, but I'm like actively looking around and seeing if it's still.
He doesn't.
crime, as it
He
were?
doesn't appear to be on your farm, no.
Okay.
You've been working for an hour, so you're just finishing up basically when you hear car doors slam out in front of your house.
Oh, not again. All right. Who is it this time?
As you round the corner, you see three people standing around the car. One of them is just kind of looking at your house, and just there's like almost like a sneer on his face, and he's just kind of shaking his head as he looks at your house.
Can I help you, Toledo?
Actually, you know this guy's been true.
Okay.
There is a toreador there. And he's like checking the bottom of his shoes as he's walking around.
Alright.
The other guy sees you as you're around the corner. And to his friends, BJ's here.
Like my hand. I recognize him, so my hand. Oh, okay, so it's the Brat Pack. So my hands are still up.
Yes, it is 3 members. Well, it's 3 members of the Brat Pack,
Okay, so my hands are still up.
or the Valley Cove Coterie.
So if my hands were, if I didn't if I recognize them and they weren't the Brat Pack, my hands would be down, but hands are staying up.
In full old-fashioned boxing position.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. What seems to be the problem, good sirs?
The other 2 look to the Ventru.
What's the matter? Can't speak for yourselves.
James Howell II. I speak for us. I speak for our coterie. Much like Samuel speaks for yours. That's kind of what we wanted to discuss with you.
How can I help you?
We heard your speech at Elysium.
Yeah.
Guess it would have been a week or so ago.
Yeah.
Trying to remember our time, Joe. And we heard your speech at Elysium. It was well, you were surprisingly well spoken.
Sometimes you can be full of surprises.
But we couldn't help but notice a sort of, well, an almost anarch feel to your speech. And we just wanted to check and make sure that we don't need to that we, as in the kindred of the city, not just us, need to be concerned about you and where your loyalties may lie.
Oh, sure. The 3 of the Brat Pack just happen to be the ones who wanna check up on me and make sure I'm fine and not harboring some kind of anarch proclivities. Sure. It's a coincidence it's you 3.
All 3 of them look angry as soon as you say Brat Pack.
Good.
I can assure you, we are not the only ones concerned. We just thought it'd be neighborly if we came over and checked with you all friendly like.
Sure.
If some of the Asili in town decided to check with you, it would probably be much less friendly.
You'll be reminded I have motory.
You kind of cut in and out on me. What was it you
It's
said?
fine. You'll be... Well, allow me to give you some hospitality here and just let y'all know that y'all don't gotta worry about me. I just look out for mine. Even if I don't necessarily like them sometimes.
Well, it does sound like that makes your loyalty sound questionable. You don't like us. We just have to wonder if maybe your farm is really the only thing keeping you here in town. If maybe your allegiance to the Camarilla is really just because that's the only way for you to keep this little piece of land.
Pray that you never have to find out.
The 3 of them look at each other. You get the impression that you're not reassuring them very much.
Sorry?
I said you don't look like they don't look like they've been properly reassured.
Okay.
Well, you just keep in mind that. Go ahead.
suffice to say, Camarilla doesn't have to worry about me going turncoat, going indicator, whatever it may be. I'm here. I'll be staying here. My loyalty is strengthened by my loyalty to my coterie, and of course to my farm.
Let's see. Roll me. Let's see how convincing you are.
I was gonna say I'm not being like.
You're not being deceitful. I assume.
not
I
being
assume
deceitful.
you're being honest.
Right. Grace of perception.
Big word. Oh yeah. There's persuasion. Okay, I was looking through the skill list. Yeah, roll that.
Do I get modifiers? Because I'm in my home turf.
That doesn't make you more convincing, no.
I'm just kidding. Ooh, 2 successes, or 4 successes.
Okay. That last little bit does seem to be a little more convincing.
If you are so concerned about how my loyalties may lie, I hope that I have enlightened you tonight, and that you could tell others the same, who may be sharing this sentiment the same.
We will pass on what you said.
I appreciate it.
Just know that we and probably your other neighbors, so we'll be keeping an eye on you.
By all means.
But as long as what you've said is true, you don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, tip brats.
They climb back into the car. As he's shutting the door, you think you hear the Malkavian Mike. I thought you said we were going to get to beat him. And it shuts.
Immediate text to the group chat. I hate brats. X2.
Alexander.
Hi, sir.
As you're hunting, as you're finishing up your hunt, you hear somebody coming down the passageway. Doesn't sound like anybody trying to be stealthy particularly.
Okay.
Let me see. As you're sitting there juice boxing your last rat, you see another Nosferatu around the corner. And you had seen her before when Grandmother Dorcas was introducing you to the clan in the city.
She's still gonna be a bit cautious. Don't know her too well just yet.
But she sees you. Raises her hand in greeting. Hey, you're the new guy, right, Alex?
Yes, that'd be me.
I'm Dana. The whip wanted me to show you around. He said nobody's given you a real tour of the Warrens yet.
Oh, yes, that'd be wonderful. I'm still learning my way, but I'll slowly get there, don't you worry. But I'll appreciate any assistance.
He just wanted he wanted to make sure I showed you a few of the spots where you can get down into the, out of the sewers into the caves if you needed to. I don't know about up north of the city where you live, but there's caves just all through here. We got all kinds of spots all over the city where we can pop in and out of them. You got to be careful though. There's that flipping Splunkers Club they've got. Thankfully, they're usually doing their stuff during the day, so it's not as big a deal. But anytime you use the cage, just be on the lookout for them.
Duly noted.
They all wear those flipping GoPro things, so
Understood. That'd be something to definitely look out for.
And then she proceeds to give you a whirlwind tour of the glorious sewer.
Huzzah!
It's don't think you really had a sewer up where you were living before.
Nope, just good old glorious septic tanks. The true joys of the rural living.
But she shows you a spot over, kind of at the edge of your coterie, or your domain rather. I don't know, somewhere around there, where you can get into a cave system that runs up, basically under the mountain, to the west. Yeah, she tells you there's tunnels that'll take you over there, over to the Big Spring Cove, Big Cove, into the Big Cove. Basically, you can travel, just under the mountain over to the other side. She shows you the one, the ones that go up under the farm, all the farmland. I think if there's anything other importance. And she doesn't walk you over there because it's on the other side of town, but she mentions a couple of spots. There's one over close to one of the universities, Calhoun. If you're ever on that side of town, she tells you how to find it. The entire time, she just seems put upon, like a teenager has to do a chore. She's not rude to you, but she's very, very, very uninterested.
Yeah, she's got that vibe of I don't rightly care to be helping you right now. I have more important things to be doing.
It's like
but I'm here anyway.
It's like a teenager working the counter at McDonald's, just kind of like, I mean, she does a thorough job. She, you can't fault her. You can't fault the job she's doing.
Oh no, of course.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order?
She gives you a website where you can check, basically like the work schedules of the sewer workers. It's a hidden site basically, like an onion site or whatever the deep web stuff's called. It's something the Nosferatu here in town keep up.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it that seems vampiric. It's just this weird little site that keeps all the sewer worker, So you'll know if they're doing a lot of work in your area, kind of thing.
So of course, if they're doing a lot of work, this is the times to avoid even remotely thinking of going through there.
Right. Or at least knowing to be, cloaking yourselves in shadow as you do. Grandmother Dorcas has essentially declared the sewer workers off limits.
Oh,
Them,
yeah,
people disappearing in the sewers would draw way too much attention.
Oh yeah, you remotely even look at them wrong and be like, no.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if they stumble across you, if there's a risk of a masquerade breach, somebody disappearing would be preferred, but it's strongly encouraged. You just don't let this become a problem. So what's Alexander? That she spends several hours doing that. What would Alexander like to spend the rest of the night doing?
Pretty much he would start trying to catalog mainly like past in which, like, where they end up, where he can, like, where they, intersect, so that way he can, essentially he'll spend the rest of his night, after her being kind enough to show him that, he's going to spend the rest of the night kind of just, in a way, I would say, like, sketching, or just coming up with, making a little map so he has a better idea of where to go, what to do, in case things go wrong. Like, say something happens over on Blackjack's farm. Well, I know this area goes here close to the farms. I'll travel this way. He can get to places quicker and without having to bother the rest of the coterie to, like, pick him up.
Okay. He starts making his own paths and escape routes, and
Yeah.
you don't know where Maeve's haven is, or really anybody else's, but you know where Blackjack's farm is, so you can plot to get in and out around there. Okay.
Yeah, just little routine of trying to figure out how to get to everybody without essentially anyone seeing him.
So using the sewers and the storm drains and
using everything he can to his advantage.
okay. Jolene.
Yes.
You're working, as is the usual.
Yep.
Let's see. Did we decide that your shift probably started when the sun was still up,
Yeah, she
or was
would
that just something
take,
I'd suggested?
She would take pretty much any shift, but would prefer, like, evening shifts.
Okay.
Just so no one suspects anything. She, like, would take shifts at any point. Like, if she needed to cover somebody, she'd do that. All that jazz.
Okay. Well, it's not too late in your shift. Maybe 8 o'clock. Well-dressed fellow comes into the Waffle House. Looks like he's of Asian descent. Sits down, starts flipping through the
one-page placemat menu.
Oh, yeah.
Joy of a Waffle House is pretty much, you know it's on the menu.
Lunch on one side, breakfast on the other.
Mm-hmm.
He does the quick flip over and then he goes back to the breakfast side.
Did she recognize him at all?
No. He's dressed a bit nicer than the usual clientele, but other than that.
Turn on the charm.
Oops, I think we just lost a deca.
He said he was gonna be right back. Or did he just...
Okay, there we go.
There he goes.
But it shifted everybody's names around. Anyway,
Who am I now? Who am I now?
You're still you. Everyone
Yeah,
else switched
me and you
around.
are still you because we're over on the other side.
I'm Jolene now.
Good luck.
I mean, Deck is 2 people, so.
But he's not playing a Malkavian. He's also very quiet over there.
I don't know if he dropped out of Discord or not.
I don't know either.
Nope, he hasn't dropped out of Discord, so it might have been something with Discord.
Who knows? Anyway, I got my names rearranged now. That would have bothered me. So anyway, yeah, this dude's looking over the menu. You don't recognize him.
Alright, she'll go over and be like, need a couple minutes or can I get you your order?
Oh, I think I know what I want.
Alright.
And he proceeds to order, the waffles, like 2 or 3 eggs. He orders an extra egg. Orders some extra bacon.
That's what it does.
And when he speaks, he's got a slight Chinese accent. But it's pretty slight. He's clearly if not a native English speaker, at least,
Fluent.
yes, extremely fluent.
Okay. Just kind of give him a nod. Be like, get this put in for you. Shouldn't take that long.
Thank you. He's got this bag. He's looking at the decor.
I have to say, you look a little bit too well dressed for this kind of establishment. You just passing through, or?
Oh, I'm here in the States on business, and
Ah.
I kind of have a weak spot for waffles. I wanted to, so I just looked
Well-
up places to get them.
They are pretty tasty, so. Got them a couple different ways. If you don't like them this way, well, come back again and see us try them another way. Get them with the blueberries next time.
Yeah, I've had them with blueberries before. Have you ever had them with duck? I mean, not mixed into the waffle. That would be weird.
Kind of like a chicken and waffle, except duck and waffle.
Kind of. I've heard of that, but I've never been over to. Well, when I was over in Cali, I was in San Francisco, not down in. Is it L.A. that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle started? He goes. I imagine it's the same idea. I don't really know which place started it first.
I can't really say I've been anywhere fancy enough to be doing duck and waffles.
Duck's not too uncommon over back home.
Yeah. Imagine it's a bit different than chicken, a little bit fattier from what I understand.
Yeah, it is. It goes with waffles pretty good though.
I would imagine so. Kind of just taps her notepad again and be like, get this put in for you. I'm gonna go do a little bit of checkup on the other folks here. If you need anything, just give me a holler.
Will do. When he raises his hand like that, you're pretty sure he's wearing a Rolex.
Yeah, guy's too well dressed for a Waffle House.
Hey,
Look,
Jason,
Mhm.
do you have any control over swapping the servers around on Discord?
Just refresh.
Because I think most of us have been saying like just one bar.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm at-
Mine keeps jumping around.
Yeah, so I'm asking. I don't know if you have any kind of control over that.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. Let's see.
Might need to.
Maybe poke Maddie.
I'll say might need to poke what's her bagel.
I know Discord has just been acting kind of goofy.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, I know the Discord. We had to switch servers because of the same issue.
Mm-hmm.
Latency issues.
It wouldn't be a true internet show without technical glitch. Right?
Exactly.
This is
I mean,
this is depressingly true.
Yeah,
Even Critical Role had them.
I did.
Somebody catch a chimney on fire.
Do what now?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody just should be on fire.
Yeah.
They did like a Q&A and had like a actual fireside chat behind them. Neither one had really used that chimney before,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes about as well as you expect.
Yeah, I got no idea how to.
We'll
I'm
live
sure
with it.
there's a way, but I can't figure it out.
Oh,
Yes.
baby, that's so
There-
robotic.
Oof.
It hasn't started roboting for me yet, but I probably just jinxed myself.
Deca robots
I'm
are
back
for me
up
every now
to-
and then.
I'm
Yeah.
like between 3 to 2. Oh, I'll drop down to 1.
Yeah, I've dropped down to
Wanna
1
just
right now.
vote
Then I jumped up to 3, now I'm at
Maddie?
2.
Yeah.
It's like we're playing like divide like a finite amount of bars.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 bars, we divide between 5 people. Well, no, 6 people. Cause...
People interrupt. Sure, it's fine. They're in the same house. That's how it works, right?
Right? Exactly. We share everything. We share bars.
I sent
So
a
the-
poke.
So if I get 1 bar, that means I only have half a bar.
Mm.
So you put the order in, you check with everybody else. You see him pull out his phone, he's checking on his phone.
Hello.
Okay. He's checking on the phone. When she's like behind, like probably like back towards the kitchen, she'll nod at one of the other waitresses. This guy been in here before? Seems a bit too well off.
He's a little overdressed, yeah.
I know.
Well, the food's good, so maybe he's not that picky.
I mean, yeah, it's true, but
if he's from, if he's from, China or somewhere, maybe he's, wanting to taste the local flavor.
Nothing against the place and all, but ain't quite the local flavor. Maybe I don't know, maybe it was nearby. Maybe I'm overthinking this.
So they get his food ready. He's still typing away. As you walk back over, he sets the phone down. And you can see, he was exchanging texts with somebody.
Kind of sets out the spread and be like, think we got everything here? Need any extra syrup? Refill on your drink? Anything?
Let's see, what would he have gotten to drink?
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, probably, because the tea he's used to would not be the tea he would get at a Waffle House.
I mean, sweet tea.
This tea is cold. This tea has ice in it. Oh, and sugar.
That would be diabetes.
Alright, give it. Maddie's gonna change the server, so we're gonna get some glitchiness most likely.
Okay. Try there. What are we trying here?
Let's start speaking.
Let's go back.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We'll just go back to roleplay.
So yeah, he gets a refill on his drink. It starts wolfing the food down fairly quick.
Okay.
Not like making a mess, but like he's in a little bit of a hurry.
Yeah. Should be like, do you want a to-go cup or anything? Good to go?
I'll take a good to go cup.
Gets him a to-go cup of whatever beverage and just kind of sets it near him, sets the check with it. I'll take care of this whenever you're ready, no rush.
No, that's about alright. He lays down a credit card.
Takes care of it, walks it back, and just be like, need anything else, hon, just let me know. Goes about her business, but kind of tries to maybe, well no, she's gonna like take a good look at him in case she needs to describe or whatever.
Okay. Younger guy, pretty good looking. Like I said, very sharply dressed.
Yeah.
His phone starts ringing as he walks out the door. And just as it shuts, you hear you. Yeah, I didn't think you'd be up yet. Well, some of us still have to eat, and the door shuts. And you see him still moving his mouth as he walks to his car.
She's gonna make note of that. And just, it could be someone, maybe overseas talking, but well, with her background, she's probably thinking that's some kind of assistant to one of the fine ladies and gentlemen of the night.
Equation.
Well, Hong Kong's got a Camarilla presence too.
Yeah.
Or at least they did back in the 90s. I don't know about now.
Just kind of make definitely a mental note of it.
Would she have thought to look on his credit card for his name?
If she hadn't, it would have been on the receipt that printed out at the bottom where it asked for a signature.
His name is Russell Yu.
Last name?
Why
spelling,
you?
please? Okay.
Let's say me having to look it up. China actually does not have a Camarilla presence.
Okay.
They're
Well-
run by the Triads or the Kuei-jin.
Well, I knew they were a big presence, but I knew back in the 90s when you had the World of Darkness Hong Kong book, Camarilla had a small presence in Hong Kong.
Yeah, looks like they've taken over.
Yeah, I could easily see them having gotten run out.
Yeah. Not as vast or powerful as it was in the early 20th century. But
Well, I think the ideal was the European kindred were basically there in Hong Kong when it was still British controlled.
yeah, it's basically run by the Kuei-jin that are pretty much the de facto leaders of the Triad. So it's Kuei-jin Chinese vampires that have their own private army, quote unquote.
Yes.
Accurate enough, at least for what the kindred... For what anybody in Huntsville's going to know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have about 100,000, actually.
Well, you know, if they're in through China, that's a lot of area to cover.
Yeah.
Alright. Maeve. How are you wanting to spend your evening?
Well, she's back at work. But her sire is there, unless he's left that night.
Let's see, you had... Were you letting him crash at your place?
Probably.
Okay. Then yeah, he's still there when you get up.
She would probably just catch up with him. Probably would call out of work if she was working that day. Said family member came into town unannounced, so.
Uninvited. So he hears you calling in. He's like, oh, you didn't have to do that. But since you did, maybe you can help me with a little chore. A little errand I was going to perform.
Huh. And what errand would this be?
Oh, a little reconnaissance. As much as I like catching up with you, Childer, that's not really the only reason I came to town.
I figured. So who are you spying on?
Well, I'm really just kind of checking the borders. I suppose at some point tonight I'll need to present myself to the prince.
Would be wise.
Or at least make the arrangements to do so. You don't happen to have the Seneschal's number, do you?
No, but I can probably get it for you.
Oh, that'd be appreciated.
And she'll text Sam.
And Samuel probably does have the Seneschal's contact information.
Does he give it to her?
He'll.
I mean, she
Why
would
do you
have
ask?
told him. She would have told him that her sire was in town.
Do you use the term sire?
No. She would have been like, so, family member came into town unannounced. but he was wondering if I had such and such number. And I know you do. Would you be able to give it to me so I can give it to him?
What would you call the seneschal?
What would be a good term to not be?
And you could just call him.
She doesn't know if he...
You would know his name is Chad Tucker. I mean, he's important enough in town. You would know his
Yeah,
name.
be like, hey, do you have Chad's number? Because I don't.
I mean, you can always call him Uncle.
Well, she wants to make sure Samuel knows who she's talking about. So.
Me debating on how to do this.
The kangaroo wants to know the seneschal's number. Why?
Basically.
I mean, it's there in black and white for you.
I might have his number, but it is not really my place to give out to people I do not know.
All right. And then she'll look at Colin and shrug her shoulders. Sorry,
Actually,
can't help.
he'll also respond later with having a group meeting on Sunday. Think you can make it?
Yeah, I'll be able to be there.
Good. I'll tell the others.
So she'll look at Colin and be like, he's not giving me the number, so unfortunately, I can't help you out with that part right now.
Ah, well. I'll run across somebody that can tell me, I'm sure. Anyway, till then, my errand.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out a phone. Alright, I've got an Uber coming.
Okay. But you haven't told me who or what we're looking for.
Just anything out of the ordinary.
Be a little more specific so it'll be easier to find whatever you're looking for.
We're heading up into the Caitiff territory to the north. The north end of town. We have reason to suspect well, there's been rumors of the lupines gathering to the north.
Okay. And does the prince know this?
Well, if he doesn't, that's kind of on him. I mean, it's his responsibility. He's the one that's left that northern territory empty for so long. Or maybe that's why he's slowly shuffled the Caitiff that way. Maybe he's creating a human wall.
Probably.
Me over here, and blood senses tingling.
I can sense that somewhere someone's doing something that would piss me off.
Heard you were talking shit.
Heard you were talking shit about thin bloods, or about to talk shit about thin bloods, or thinking shit about thin bloods.
My shoulder is tingling as that chip gets bigger and bigger.
That shit's a boulder. What are you talking about?
So a few minutes later, a car pulls up. Guy rolls out his window. Colin? Yeah, that's me. Y'all climb into the bag, yeah. Your sire chews the fat with this guy. It's the most human you've ever seen him act. Not that he's particularly inhuman, but, usually he's relatively unemotional. I mean, not lacking emotion, he's just not real expressive.
She's gonna give him the side eye. And a like confused look on her face, but not say anything right now.
But I mean, and he's talking to the guy. I mean, the subjects are just, you know. Well, they get off on the new stadium being built in Madison. You know, and the fact that, you know, they're the new team is hoping to have its first ball game next year. You know, and how long has it been since Huntsville's had a minor league ball team? You eventually pick up that it's baseball they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And living here in town, you've probably heard of the Trash Pandas by now.
Yeah.
But Carl does a very good job of just keeping this conversation going. If you didn't know he had just gotten into town, you'd have thought he was already living here. He is so up on this ball team.
She's just gonna shake her head.
The driver sees you do that. It's like, oh, you're not a ball fan.
Not particularly baseball.
More football or basketball.
Football.
He goes, yeah, I watched me some college.
I do usually college or NFL. So.
I will find the right map to throw you on eventually. All right. Only had to try 4 times with 4 maps.
You got this.
So he takes you up to the Cherokee Hills area. At least I think that's the correct area. Let's see, there's Winchester Road. But it takes you up there, pulls off the main road, kind of into a little neighborhood, and kind of at a lets you off at a corner street. Trying to find. Oh wait, that's probably it right there. Anyway, so yeah, you know, Colin tells him bye, got a big smile on his face, waves. As soon as the guy pulls off and Colin turns back, his face kind of goes poker face again. You need to practice your small talk.
I practiced it well enough.
He goes, you got to think of it as camouflage. I had,
But not every...
he's prey, but I had him completely at ease. Ubers can also be good for snacks.
But not everybody talks to their Uber driver.
No, Jolene, no.
No, that's true. And if you get one that's particularly suspicious, then you don't want to be too talkative.
Exactly.
So where you're at, he dropped you off in front of this. There's a 2-story house on one corner. There's a smaller house across from it with like a little gazebo out to the side. And, you know, a couple of houses, you know, several houses over here. You see one with a large, large fenced-in area with some dog houses, and you see some, I can't remember if it's Rottweilers or pit bulls. You know, some fairly large dogs in there. But he starts walking you down the road between these two. One house down, and the paved road kind of stops. And then it's more of a gravel road that goes back up into the woods. You know, and there's a sign. There's apparently a park back up in there. It's one thing I like about your city is you've got so many of these land trusts and parks around. Anywhere that got too hilly to want to build, yeah, they just made it a park or a wildlife refuge.
I mean, it makes it easier.
It does. It really did draw a lot of gangrel here at one time. Curious as to why your prince has banned the Wheeler Wildlife Refuge, though. It's an awful big place for him to just be saving it for himself. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Would you?
No. The prince is not taking you into his confidence on why he makes the decisions he makes.
Yeah, no. No. I barely know the prince. Like he's gonna say anything about that.
Yeah, I just thought there might be rumor mill about it.
Not that I heard of. I'm not close enough to enough people to know about that.
Keep your ear out. It's probably not important. I'm just mildly curious. Though I do hear they have alligators out there. Which is weird this far north.
It is.
Alright.
So how far are we going to start looking for these tracks?
Well, this road winds back and up a bit, kind of curves around, and there's a park area, like an actual parking area. I think with some pavilions or whatnot. So we're going to cut through the woods here. From this point on, we probably need our game faces on. No chit-chat. If there are lupines in the area, we do not want them to notice us.
Yeah. She's gonna go and put her phone on silent.
Oh, that would be a hilarious way for a vampire to get busted by werewolves.
Phone goes off ringing.
I'll need to check something. Okay. So as you creep forward, you see Colin dropped to all fours. In just a few seconds' time, he's standing there as a pretty large gray wolf. He kind of gives you a jerk of his head and heads off into the... I can't remember if vampires can speak in that form or not. Well, it doesn't really say, but you've got animalism, so you could probably communicate.
Mm-hmm.
He could probably make himself known to you. And of course, he still understands English, so you can speak to him, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Is that a discipline level, right?
What's that?
Oh, because he...
The shape change?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's in the level 3 Protean.
Okay. That's what I thought. I'm like, my Bane doesn't say anything about that except if I frenzy.
Yes, your clan Bane is let's see, I believe it's still the thing where every time you frenzy, you wind up with an animal feature.
Mm-hmm.
It's one way you can spot older gangrel is they have a very hard time blending in.
Mm-hmm.
The particularly short-tempered ones can often end up as perhaps not as hideous as a Nosferatu, but definitely as noticeable.
I reminded of this one game I did with our storyteller, played around with the gangrel player. He basically turned her character into a cat girl. Like tail, ears, whiskers.
Oh, we could have done worse.
Yeah, he could have done much worse. He just felt like playing up the stereotype. It was funny.
Because you can wind up with, especially if you're dealing with city gangrel, you can wind up with them starting to gain insect features and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm disappearing now. RP.
Alright. Give me a stealth roll there. Rat for Maeve. Because you need to be the sneaky.
Stealth and dexterity, right?
Yes.
Good luck to me.
3's pretty good. Oh, wait. Wait.
One was the 10 was on my hunger die for one of them.
Okay, but there's only one 10, so that doesn't matter.
Only one 10, not two.
Yeah. It's
I looked at that. I got
it's gotta be
a
a crit.
10 and a 9. So.
I double check mine all the time.
Anytime I see the green, though, my heart speeds up. And smile goes across my face. And so far, you've all disappointed me every time.
You've got like 2 bestial bestial, what do you call them, successes so far? Messy criticals, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yes. Alright, Colin also does quite well. So you creep up to this camping area. Or, this parking area. Now, walking up this trail, you had to step around a chain that had been stretched across the road. Nothing heavy duty. It's just when the park's closed, they string a chain across with a sign on it. You know, the park's closed. It's usual hours or whatever. But there are still there's still a couple of vehicles up here. Give me one more roll. Perception.
Perception and...
Let's see. Wits, I believe, would be the proper one.
To give you a wit?
Yes. Wits and is it perception in this one, or is it
No, I don't have perception. I have insight, though. Awareness?
Awareness, that's the one.
Awareness.
All these different games with the same thing, name different things.
Mm-hmm. Good luck to me again. Ooh! Oof, 2 10s.
2 10s, one of which
You
is...
wanted 2 10s.
I have spoken it into existence.
You spoke it into
You
the
have.
world.
Alright, messy critical.
Even if they're on different dice? Like one hunger.
It's
one
a critical and a 10 on one of the hunger dice.
Alright.
Otherwise, you couldn't get messy criticals with just one hunger.
Alright.
And you can. Oh, but you can.
This is my second one so far in this game.
Let's see. Criticals in combat. Well, that's not really what I'm looking for. Alright, messy criticals. The character gains 1 or more stains. That doesn't really make sense. character breaches the masquerade if they visibly demonstrate, yada yada yada. Alright, so here are your choices. You can gain one or more stains for their monstrous action. Doesn't really make sense in this particular situation. The character breaches the masquerade as they visibly demonstrate supernatural strength, speed, or leave gaping bite wounds in a body. Again. This is a perception check, so that doesn't really make sense. The character loses 1 dot from an advantage. For example, you might have totaled your car, squandered a resource, crippled a retainer, offended an ally, or lost status in court following your outburst. This thing goes into how you can recover that. I don't know that you have any backgrounds that make sense for that. Let me pull up. So you've got... Let's see, if none of the above conditions fit the narrative, such as on a stealth or awareness test, the messy critical turns into a simple mess, and the test fails, as the beast clouds the senses and otherwise makes a quiet solution unattainable. So in this case, your messy critical really just makes it a failure.
Interesting.
Which is getting off lighter than you might have in some other situation.
Yeah, because I don't have a lot of stuff for that.
So basically, you're trying to hear what there's a couple of people in there, and you can tell they're talking, and you keep trying to get closer. You're not hearing anything. You keep moving, and you're kind of you're kind of defeating yourself. And somewhere in that, you realize you've lost sight of Colin.
Of course. Well, then she's gonna try to see if she can find him. Then, since she cannot hear what the people are talking about at the cars.
Okay, give me another awareness roll. Yeah, you're still not going to be able to hear him from where you're at. Maybe you can spot Colin. Okay, that's 2 successes. Now, he's done quite well in his stealth, but you're not who he's trying to hide from.
Yeah.
You realize he has literally crept out of the woods and is hugged down low to the ground, and he is actually creeping up, kind of up under one of the cars. Or, in this case, it's a truck.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's a little tight, but he manages to fit up under it. As he gets situated, you see him look back at you, and you see the little wolf shake its head. And then look back the other way.
Okay. She's gonna kind of go behind the trees to not be seen if they start looking around.
Yeah. You're not 100% sure if he was shaking his head in judgment, or if that was him going, yeah, don't come up.
She's just gonna take it as don't come up, so she's gonna just...
So yeah, there's 3 or 4 people talking. You can't tell for sure where you're at. Colin stays under there for about 15 minutes. As the party starts to break up, one guy stays behind as the other two, three, climb into one of the vehicles and drive off. Once they're out of sight, the last fellow walks and gets into the truck.
Is that the truck that Colin is under?
Yes. As the truck pulls off, you see where Colin had just crouched down low and stays there until the truck pulls around the corner and out of sight. Then he gets up, sort of shakes the grass off, and trots over to where you're at.
So did you find anything interesting?
He yaps at you.
Okay. Are these the people you were looking for?
The wolf kind of bows and straightens up. And you see all of his features shift back to the gray-haired fellow you're used to. Well, I've definitely confirmed that the Lupines are planning something. They did not go into great detail. But the fellow in the truck lives local, apparently.
How local?
He didn't say for sure. Somewhere in this general area. I mean, somewhere here in the Cherokee Hills area. And apparently it's been here for some time.
For the prince not to notice if he definitely doesn't come this way. For the caitiff not to notice.
Well, one spy hidden in a city is
Harder to find.
Exactly. The Lupine are not usually that patient. At least not most of them.
Unless this is an older one.
That's true. They age like more. They age like the kind, generally. This one looks like he was 30 or 40, maybe.
I mean, our new coterie edition just came from way up north. That also had a lupine infestation.
Oh, where at?
That's why he was down here. Where was Alexander from?
Haven or whatever he claimed the northern town was.
Crap, now I'm blanking on it again. I got a buddy that lives there. I don't know why. I keep blanking on his name.
You're drawing
But yeah, I'm just drawing a blank. Hazel Green? I think it's Hazel Green.
Should be like Hazel Green?
Oh, yes, that's really only a few minutes up the road.
Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't take them that long to just get down here.
No, not at all. I wonder if they're using that as a if they're gathering their forces there. Huntsville has not had a major lupine problem in some years now. It used to be the tribes down in Bankhead Forest that would venture up here. Rumor is your prince came to some agreement with them. And they focused their attention on Birmingham of late.
I mean, we at least gotta let the prince know about this.
Yeah, I suppose you do. He's your prince.
Yeah.
You know, as you walk back down, he pulls out his phone. We're gonna get a lift to pick us up.
Cheaper.
Then I don't like risking having the same driver multiple times.
Good point. she's going to message Sam. We need to talk. ASAP. Either your house or somewhere close.
Does Sam respond?
Would he be in the middle of studying by this point?
He'd have been studying for a while by this point.
Okay. Yeah, he'll respond. Where's the nearest Elysium that isn't in the ledges?
Oh, let's see. Bird on the Mountain is fairly close by. Let me look for one close to your... There is a small one on Walton's Mountain, which is just outside your coterie. It's a small bar, basically. Kind of a neighborhood pub sort of thing. That the kind use the downstairs, and there's an upstairs area that's a permanent Elysium. That's not a, it's not a real busy something.
It's a place a little bit out of the way.
Yes.
Okay.
It is often used. It's got a few individual rooms that can be used for small meetings. And then there's kind of a central area where people can mill about. There's usually 3 or 4 people there at any given time.
Okay. He'll tell her where to meet there.
She'll be like, all right, see you soon.
Walton Elysium, alright.
And he will put on a pair of jeans, heavy boots, leather jacket, and he will take his motorcycle.
He has a motorcycle?
Yeah?
Yeah,
He's wealthy.
Yeah, at his resources, that's not a hard thing.
What a really cool Blackjack cosplay you got going on.
And she's gonna look at her
He's
side
not
and be
wearing
like,
overalls.
She's gonna be like, change of destinations.
Oh, he pulls out his phone. Where are we going?
And she's gonna tell him the address.
Okay, he puts that in. And your lift carries you to that little Walton Mountain pub.
Mm-hmm.
She'll tip the Lyft driver. When she dropped off and head on in.
And Colin just strolls in behind you.
Samuel already there by the time she gets there, or?
He's a lot closer than you are, so yeah, he could easily be there first.
Yep.
So, she'll go meet him wherever he's at, either in one of the rooms or wherever.
You know he'd be in the upstairs area. As you walk in, there's a let's see. The Toreador usually run Elysium, but this is not your average Elysium. The fellow that lets you in he's got kind of a biker look going on, but it's not convincing. It's like he's trying a little too hard to look the part. Everything he's wearing is a little too new, a little too unscuffed.
Yeah.
But he welcomes you in. He welcomes you to Elysium.
She thanks him. And then goes about finding Samuel. And, guess sits in front of him.
Yeah, you don't have any trouble. Would Samuel be out in the kind of open area, or would he have gotten one of the rooms?
He'd have gotten a room.
Okay. And think of it like, it's like a little separate room like you have at some restaurants.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room for like 6 or 7 people to sit in here and eat if they wanted to.
Yeah. So she's gonna sit at the table in front of him and just put her hands like in front of her face.
He'll throw a message to Blackjack and Jolene and says, "I'll be in an extended meeting tonight."
Right.
And if Colin comes with her, she's going to introduce Colin to Samuel and vice versa.
Colin kind of gives you a nod.
Well,
We have an issue.
severity.
The lupine.
So there's a wolf pack.
One right now.
I see. How did you learn of this?
Colin was doing a little spying mission, and I decided to tag along.
For whom?
She looks at him. At Colin.
Unimportant at the moment. But I'd heard
Actually, yes, it is.
I had heard rumors of a lupine build up, and was asked by an employer to check it out.
Right.
He has certain business interests in the area. And of course, as a loyal member of the Camarilla, lupines are bad for all of us. I asked Maeve to come with me as backup.
Did you ask her to come as backup, or did you inspire a loyalty as her sire?
I'd like to think it was a little of both. She had called in to work to spend some time with me. I had an errand to run. I asked her to come along.
So if things went sideways, you could blame culpability on another instead of yourself.
That's not my style.
And yet you are evading the question.
Ask me something that's any of your business.
It is. Considering you took a member of my coterie with you, you made it my business.
Oh, so you own the members of your coterie.
And do you own her?
I am her sire.
And yet, where have you been?
Oh, out and about.
Yes.
You may not know how Gangrel do things.
And you may not know how we Tremere do things.
But I know it used to involve a lot of blood bonding. Then that blew up in your face.
Yes.
Along with your main chantry. And your local one, now that I think about it.
And I'm surprised that you don't have as many animal features. Tell me, have you been taking any extracurricular things to help keep your temper in check?
Self-control has always been an important philosophy of mine. My sire was an inspiration in what not to do.
I suppose we'll have to differ on that, as mine was an inspiration on what to do.
Then you were luckier than some.
I consider myself as such.
What inspires a Tremere to put together the sort of coterie that you have?
What inspires you to go out on hunting missions?
It's always good to have favors.
Precisely.
So I trust you'll be passing the information along to the prince.
You have not given me any information.
Oh, she'd mentioned the lupines gathering to the north.
Yes.
One of them has been in town for quite a few years. They didn't use any names when they spoke.
Right. How do you know that?
I was hiding under their truck listening to them. As I said, one of them was there in town. The three he was speaking to were from up north somewhere. Tennessee, I'd be guessing from the way they were talking.
I see Sarah's face.
Feel that.
Yeah. So they're making it rain. Okay. So. And what does your employer believe this is important to hunt, to send a single agent to hunt?
I often work best alone, or with assembling my own team. He kind of puts a hand on Maeve's shoulder.
She's gonna close her eyes.
And yet you just degraded me for doing the same thing.
Well, you hold a domain.
Yes, I do.
A relatively safe one. As far as, being vulnerable from the side. That wasn't degrading you, I was merely asking. Idle curiosity. I'm a very curious person.
Could you repeat that? You cut out a little bit for me.
No. He goes, I was merely curious. I'm a very curious person.
Indeed. And yet, you have not indulged my own curiosity. Why should I indulge yours?
That is fair.
As I remember, I need to write this guy's name down. Colin. Maeve's sire. General pain in the ass.
Basically, yeah. They have a love-hate relationship,
Yeah. I get to flex a little RP muscle. I'm loving it. Okay, sorry.
But Colin goes on. All that aside, though, it did sound like they were planning some sort of offensive.
Anything in particular? Or just generals?
They were just in a general planning stage. I'm not sure if the local was a part of their pack, or if it's just someone they knew was in the area and they made contact with.
It is not often that the clans work with those outside of their own.
Sometimes for larger projects they will. The out-of-towners seemed a little dismissive.
That would be a little bit more in line. Perhaps a lone wolf that is trying to earn a favor into a pack to be accepted by their alpha.
The Lupines have their own divisions, perhaps similar to our clans. I don't know what they all are, or what the real significance of it is, but I feel like that was more of where the disdain was coming from.
Well,
Maybe there's some lesser thought of breed of Lupine.
It depends. There are some that are warriors, some that are considered their shamans or wise speakers. It's more of a caste system in some cases. Well, there will be Elysium on Sunday. The prince has called a meeting. You will certainly be able to introduce yourself there afterwards.
Well, I've had the keeper of this Elysium forward the seneschal my number. Sunday will probably be soon enough for the official presentation, but I wouldn't want to wait that long to notify him that I was in town.
Prudent.
Yeah, breach of protocol.
Indeed. Was there anything else?
That was it. I figured you would want to know when I knew.
Wise. That will give me some time to plan. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Of course. Wouldn't keep anything from you. Maybe except where I live, but...
That kind of paranoia, Colin goes, that kind of paranoia will keep you alive.
It has done me well for as long as I've been alive. Anyway, he'll look for Colin and he'll stand and offer his hand to the man.
Hey, we're shaking hand. He's got a firm handshake, but it's not one of those where he's trying to intimidate or
Yeah.
It's just a firm handshake.
He just grins like, it is not often I have such a rousing verbal spar.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Do take care of my children. I am, for some reason, attached to her.
She is one of my own. She will be protected to the best of my ability.
I will hold you to that.
Right. If that is all, I have more research that needs to be done. And planning to finish.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see you Sunday.
Sunday. As you step out of the office, the toreador that keeps this Elysium, kind of makes a little gesture to Colin, and Colin walks over and starts talking to him.
I must say, as they do that, Samuel just put a hand on Maeve's shoulder. So, I know he is your sire, but how open are you with him?
As open as one can be, kind of. I mean, he is my sire. but I don't always tell him everything.
Sire, no. I would caution you to check your times. Not as an insult, mind you, but as he said, paranoia is what keeps us alive. I got fortunate with my sire that the Tremere seek out those of like mind. We generally get along with one another. There are others, like Jolene, that were not nearly as lucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just keep a wary eye out. The fact that he took you alone to go spy on a pack of werewolves is concerning.
I mean, is not the first. Before, of course, I joined the coterie. Not the first time we went alone to do recon, spying and whatnot. But don't worry, I will be wary next time.
Thank you. No, I don't always show it. But those who do manage to worm their way into this dead heart of mine, I'll try to protect them. That includes you.
That's good to know that you do care. And don't worry, Sam. I care about you too.
About that time, Colin steps back over. Well, that's all taken care of. The prince will be alerted that I am in town, and I can present myself on Sunday.
Was that a DM cough or a player cough? Or a character cough?
Oh, it was just DM cough, sorry.
Okay. I'm sitting there going, do I need to insight that?
You don't know.
You've got allergies.
Actually,
Yes,
you
yes,
know what?
The very old dead vampire's like, oh, it's just my allergies. It's the pollen.
Just on a whim, I do want to insight that to see if he was listening.
Okay.
I didn't hear somewhere.
Would it be insight or...
Yeah, it was literally insight.
There is insight.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if would it be insight or awareness to notice if he was... No, insight would be more of to get his general... If he's hiding something.
That's true.
Would it be awareness to see it, to notice if he was listening?
I'm going to say insight, because your base is it's kind of his body language, whether you think he was tilting his head back towards you or...
Fair. Okay. Got it. So it'd be insight plus...
Probably wit. No, wait. Let's see, composure, manipulation, charisma.
Think of the composure or...
Yeah, I'm thinking this would be more social than mental. Manipulation is trying to specifically do something.
Yeah.
What specifically is composure for?
I'm here 24/7, asking things to stump the DM with.
It's not hard to do.
It's not hard to do on a new system that we're playing for like the 6th time.
Well, I mean, I even do it to Cap. Like last time we played on Monday, I stumped him. Was like, "Hey, so can I pick up this wyvern and beat this wyvern with the other wyvern?"
Barbarian things.
Just barbarian things. Yeah.
And
It was just
outlandish
amusing
is your
to-
nature.
It was just amusing to see his brain just shut down for a second as he tried to process that question.
Alright, choose your traits.
Does I just see the plate disappear into the darkness?
Like I said, Alexander in his true state.
Yeah.
Gone.
I love that we just unintentionally, like, perfectly, just like he's cosplaying as Nosferatu.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it works perfectly.
It does.
No camera, so he's never seen. Darkness shrouds him after a while,
It's just gone.
so he's always hidden.
It just to see the eye, the protean eye, just like stalking up.
Right. There you go. Right.
I like to think. I like to think every now and again you just have like a. You actually just have a clapper that you don't use. You like clap on, and then he shows up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm amused by simple things.
My brother, aren't we all?
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Alright. Okay.
I want to say maybe charisma.
Let's go with charisma because composure is more the resistance stat. So
Yeah, I think charisma just like notice social cues. Maybe
we'll go with charisma.
probably no modifiers involved. What are my specialties? Because I have a lot of those.
No, just your composure and your insight.
Oh no, would.
Charisma.
No, this wouldn't be etiquette. That's never mind. Okay, yeah. It's a 1.
All right. Oh yeah, he'd need to roll his
Yeah.
composure. And that'd probably be composure subterfuge. You know, if he's resisting this, and I'm not just rolling to make you think he might be.
Make the player sweat a little bit.
I mean, yeah, insight's not something I'm best at. Like, insight plus charisma, that's only 4 dice.
All right, so you got 1 success. You can't tell.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
But yeah, go walk out. Colin pulls his phone back out.
Well, suppose that's that.
Colin's like, it was a pleasure making your acquaintance, Samuel.
Yours as well, Colin. I expect to see you on Sunday.
You will. The last thing I would want is the prince rolling his sheriff's out because I didn't show up to present myself. It'd be unfortunate for them and inconvenient for me.
It'd be unfortunate for everyone.
Yeah, and you see he's got the Uber app on his phone. Right?
Yeah. He'll go over and he'll go to his bike.
Now, is it a real high dollar bike, or is it something that blends into a more average setting?
It's one of those if he needs to blend in bikes.
Okay.
It's not high dollar. It's more one that looks like it could take a beating.
It's
Kind
not
of.
a Harley, it's a Kawasaki.
Basically.
It's not that it looks especially cheap. It's just average motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's not like you've got an Indian chieftain or one of the really high dollar somethings.
No, it's pretty average.
Okay.
That's his. I want to blend in somewhere. Where
Where your car is the I'm here to impress people.
basically.
Why, yes, I am a doctor.
Essentially.
All right. So you drive off, or ride off.
Mm-hmm.
An Uber comes by and picks up Maeve and Colin. Not the same one. Let's see. Jolene. You've got you get the text from Samuel about, it may be in an extended meeting. Did you drop any kind of message in your text about the Elysium coming up?
I after informing him, like either before he left or when he got home. No, he did say over group text there would be a group meeting on Sunday.
Oh, that's right.
Just a group meeting.
Well, yeah, it's over a text. You can't just flat out say Elysium.
That could be at the house. That could be anywhere.
Yeah,
But it does tell you that it does imply to you have your Sunday night free.
Yeah. Oh, she would, situate that.
Gonna show up with the best cake on.
So anyway, you got that. You get that text those texts while you're at work. Mm-hmm.
Another fucking meeting.
Your coworker's like, "What?"
Nothing. Just some friends.
You don't sound very happy about your friends.
I mean, it's just a lot of meetings, and I was hoping just to maybe take a nap Sunday. You know how it is. You work the whole week and you just want to kind of recharge.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't good enough folk and all, don't get me wrong, just...
She's like, yeah, I can remember getting into my 30s.
Yeah.
Could party all weekend in my 20s. Once I got to my 30s,
It's a bitch.
I feel you.
And the woman speaking is in probably her late 40s by this point. She is the oldest.
She's
actually
mama.
the oldest. Yeah, kind of. She's the oldest worker at the. So anyway, Jolene gets off work. What would she like to do for the rest of her evening?
Honestly, she's not gonna go hunting. She'd probably just send a text like, "What kind of meeting? Do I need to dress up for this? Can I skip out?"
Not quite Sunday best.
Guessing that's a no on skipping out. Okay.
Yes, unfortunately for Jolene, the Jones Valley Coterie is currently in favor.
Yep. Another night of getting the side eye.
Blackjack, if
Now Jeanette does not give you the side eye.
She gives me the full-on
She
murder
flat out
eye.
curls her lip at.
She makes cut across the throat motions from across the room. Just looks across the room like, I'll kill you.
Blackjack goes to find a full-length mirror with what she's wearing right now.
Let's see. Alexander.
Yes.
You've spent several hours kind of scouting out the underside of Jones Valley. I guess the Jones Valley Warrens.
Yes.
And sure enough, you found some of those entrances to the cave systems where, what was her name? Dana, where Dana had said they were. And there's a few areas that are marked with, it just looks like graffiti, but it's Clan Nosferatu markings.
Almost kind of like a thieves' cant.
Vampiric thieves can't.
Sort of.
Exactly.
It doesn't really leave complex messages. It just sort of marks locations. But, you know, especially when you're getting familiar with the underground, you can use them as kind of location markers. And while, you know, they don't spray paint the secret entrance to anything, it's close enough, you know, some of them are close enough by that when you see one, you know there's an entrance or an exit or something close by.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's gonna be making notes of the symbols that he sees.
Give me a wits awareness.
Yes, sir. Give me the list. Guess I did the same thing I did earlier. I think I did that right? Maybe?
Looks like it.
Looks like it. Awareness.
You have 4 dice between wits and awareness.
Yes, because they're both a 2.
Yeah,
Yes, alright,
you're
that's
good.
right then.
You did
Alright,
it.
2
Woo.
successes. You know, you're kind of wrapping up your exploration for the night. You know, if crap goes down at your haven, you know where to duck into the storm drain, and you know, come up with a couple different places to run to. You found the closest exit you can to Blackjack's farm.
I like that.
It's not right on your farm.
I mean, again, just whenever I feel hungry, I just have to come up and sneak up on Bessie.
First of all,
Oh, and just as he's about to threaten, he freezes.
Yep, you froze. We didn't hear you.
You go, and then it froze.
Yeah.
so first of all, her name is Bethany. If you're gonna say her name, say it right.
Okay, Miss Bethany.
Extra large juice box.
And keep in mind,
Box wine.
Blackjack's farm is not the only farm around here, nor is it the largest farm. His neighbor also has a farm. Clearly, you should go mess with his touchstone. And there's the entire Jones Valley farm, which is the largest urban farm, I think, in the country.
Yes,
So-
that's exactly what I need to do. It's just like, no, Blackjack, it's okay. I'm not going after your cattle. Your neighbors have got greater cattle. Give me a minute.
Oh yeah, sorry about your neighbor. He pulled a gun on me and I had to smack him through a wall. Don't worry, no masquerade bricks.
There's just a desiccated corpse hanging now.
But anyway, you got 2 successes. So you know you're back under the more populated area of the domain. And you hear a little ruckus. Somebody is mumbling to themselves, complaining about the smell, and why does he have to use rats for this?
Anything I can roll to kinda get a better look at him, or?
You could roll stealth to try to, because it's kind of around a corner for you hearing this. So you could roll stealth to try to creep up and peek without being seen.
I will give it a shot. What is
Now,
it?
don't forget you also have obfuscation. You have abilities you can use.
Let's see, obfuscation. What all do I have?
Yeah, I don't know if you got the one where you can actually move or obfuscate it or not. Oh, wait, you got 3 ranks of obfuscate. You probably do.
Oh man, I've got the Cloak of Shadows, Unseen Passage, and the Ghost in the Machine. Cloak of Shadows, I have to stand perfectly still.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, okay. Unseen Passage. This power, with this power, the power can move unhidden.
I think that one requires a rouse check.
It does.
The
Yeah,
Cloak of Shadows doesn't, but the Unseen Passage does.
Yeah, the Unseen Passage is rouse check, but you know, I get to move and actually be hidden. Duration is 1 scene or until detection. So, why not? I'll do a rouse check. Let's see how well this is going to do for me.
Okay.
Yeet. Hey!
You don't get any hungrier.
Good. So
Yeah,
I passed that.
Yeah, you can boldly stride forward.
I mean, he's going to walk cautiously, but at least he knows that he shouldn't be seen.
You're around the corner. There's a guy dressed mostly in black. Fairly nice clothes. Not to the level you've seen Samuel dress, but nice, office wear at least. Wearing a suit coat. Except he's got like these knee-high, bright orange kind of galoshes on.
He's got essentially safety boots on to tread through this area.
Basically. And he is carrying a cage that he has caught some rats in. As you round the corner,
Yeah.
as you round the corner, though, he is picking up an already dead rat. Oh, what happened to these 3? And you realize this is where you were hunting earlier. Now, would Alexander have thought to lick the wound closed on rats?
I want to say yes because, again, with him, being a veterinarian and being akin to them, he would still feel a little, and I say this with a grain of salt, a little remorse for hurting them. So he would at least make it look like, if anything happened to them, they at least pass naturally.
Okay. Yeah, so the guy kind of looks the rat over and throws it down. Yeah, maybe they were just poisoned. He kind of shakes its cage. It's got 3 or 4 rats in it. I hope none of you boogers are poisoned. Oh, well, you ain't gonna last that long anyway. And he starts trudging through the muck. Back the way he came. Probably, there's an exit. Little ladder on the side, exit out. Kind of in the direction he's going, so.
Yeah, Alexander is just he's not gonna be right up on him, but he's gonna do like quarantine. He's gonna keep a good 6 feet, maybe 12.
Sure enough, he walks to that ladder. He slowly climbs his way up. Swear I don't know why I can't just breed these things for what I need, but no, it's got to be local. Locally grown.
I'm sorry.
Free range rats.
That's
Cage free. Except that he's got him in a cage now, so false advertising.
I'd say he's failing then.
exactly. That's false advertising. He's failing hard.
So he gets up. He very carefully takes those galoshes off. Kind of beats a little bit of the muck off. Puts them in a garbage bag. And, this is all on the side of the street. He got a car parked here. He puts that garbage bag in the trunk of his car. As he puts the bag in, you see him pull out a oddly curved knife, about yay long. Well, you're not watching the zoom. It's really it's more of a it's really more of a dagger.
No, I mean I've got the stream.
Oh, okay.
So I can semi-watch you.
Okay. Did just a little day. It's really probably more of a dagger than a knife.
Oh yeah,
He
it'd definitely be a dagger.
And he pulls that out and slips it in his coat.
Yeah, no, Alexander is he's curious, but at the same time he's like, what are you trying to do?
He shuts his trunk.
Now, do I need to roll anything to like be aware of like what the make model is, all that? Maybe you see the plate, so maybe hunt it down later.
No, you got enough time while he's doing all this. You can take the time to carefully examine the car. And it's, it's some kind of Hyundai.
Okay, so we got a Honda. Or Hyundai. Excuse me.
It's a local tag, so it's not out of county or anything. And once he's fetched the knife and put the boots back in, he walks back over to the storm drain and kind of pushes the essentially like a manhole cover, pushes that back into place. Lucky for you, he didn't do that as soon as he got out. So you were able to climb out without any trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that'd been fun doing the classic cartoons of trying to slowly step up and all of a sudden just have my head crushed by a freaking manhole cover.
I'm sure it's happened to many Nosferatu.
Yeah, probably.
So he looks around like he's making sure nobody's seen him. But it's by this point probably 2 or 3 in the morning. Not on one of the main roads is a residential area, so everything's kind of quiet.
And did I have enough time to know what he looks like? Kind of.
Oh yeah. You managed to get a decent look at him. Black hair, a goatee. His hair is kind of close cropped. Not buzzed or anything, but he's got a very kind of just office professional look to him. And he picks up his cage of rats and starts walking down the sidewalk. As you keep watching him, he comes to a house. Kind of looks like he's making sure all the lights are off in the house. Puts on a leather glove, which he was wearing down in the sewers. Mm-hmm. Reaches down, grabs one of the rats. Using the dagger, he starts kind of chanting under his breath. Kills the rat very quickly, and with the dagger begins kind of spreading the blood around this house.
Is it possible to roll anything to see if I might be any remotely familiar with what he's trying to pull off?
Sure. Roll intelligence occult.
No, go. Yeah, okay.
No.
Go to a cult.
Yeah, I did that backwards. Okay, so
Yeah.
and intelligence. That's probably a no.
You think this guy is trying to do some kind of magic. Or he could be a nut job.
The
Or
voodoo
both.
that you do.
Well, he's definitely trying to do some magic. He could actually know what he's doing, or he could be a nut job. You know the Tremere do magic using blood, so... but he proceeds to basically go along the property line of the lot this house is on. He essentially ends up using up all the rats by the time he gets all the way around it. As he moves along the property line to the backyard, do you follow behind him, or do you just kind of stay on the sidewalk where you're at?
Oh, he'll stay more towards the sidewalk because he doesn't know if this is going to do anything to help heighten the senses of this guy, or if he gets too close, it's going to set up a warning, some type of thing. So he's going to kind of hang back and just watch. Like, I want to know what you're doing, but I'm not risking getting seen.
So yeah, you see him go all the way around. The whole procedure takes about a half hour. Okay. He comes back. He's now got a cage full of dead rats.
Didn't even eat those. What a waste.
He comes back around to kind of the center in front of the house, with a little walkway goes up to the front door. Does a little bit more chanting, both on the sidewalk outside the house. Then he steps across, onto the property, and turns around facing outwards and does some more. And then when he seems to be done, he kind of sighs like, "Oh, finally." And then he takes his dead rats and starts walking back down towards his car. Before he gets in his car, he opens the cage, dumps them out, kind of in the gutter in front of the storm drain, and kicks the rat bodies down into the storm drain. Puts the cage and the big leather gloves in the trunk. Immediately takes out some kind of hand sanitizer. Does his hands real good.
Okay, so he's a germaphobe.
He's been handling sewer rats. You ain't got to be a germaphobe and want to wash your hands after that. Not everybody wants to put sewer rats in their mouth, man. I'm just saying. But
they make good Capri Suns when the time is needed.
And yeah. Then he proceeds. Then he pulls out his little keychain, clicks to unlock his car, climbs in, cranks up, drives off. Assuming you're not interfering with any of this.
Oh no, he's not going to mess with the guy in any shape or form. Again, he's trying his best to take mental notes and whatnot of what he did, and all that. However, he's going to wait there for just a little bit of time, make sure that he's good and going, and he's going to creep up to the house that he just did all this to.
Okay.
And possibly... I'm trying to think. Look back at this, because I want to say he would pull out his phone and take some quick pictures if he could.
Oh yeah, no problem. You can take pictures of the house. Now it's dark except for one kind of flickering street light at one corner. So are you using your flash?
Ooh, that would probably be a problem, wouldn't it?
what is your resources? Because you can get phones that have like a night vision thing on it. But that's not something most people think of. On the other hand, you're a vampire.
I'm about to say, that'd probably be the type of phone he'd need just so he can take pictures without, one, causing flash, because one, dear God, blinding light, and two, he can be a little bit more inconspicuous with taking photos and still not really have people see him do it.
Let's see. Do you have much in the way of resources?
Probably not.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not real sure where that would have been or where
under Chronicle, if you click the tabs along the top of your character sheet.
Sure thing. Let me see if I can find. Because I know I saved the PDF. I'm just trying to remember where I saved it to.
Because let's see. All right, merits and flaws. You've got feeding flaw vegan, Haven flaw creepy, Haven mask. Now you've got repulsive, but you should not have gotten any points for that because you're Nosferatu, so you kind of already have that, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I see where you just have the clan band. Okay, I see. Okay, you don't really have any resources, so I don't know how fancy a phone you're going to have. I mean,
Okay.
not having any dollars, it does not mean that you are flat broke or anything. But,
Okay. Main reason he's wanting to do this is to take it back to Samuel.
well, you can certainly get a good enough view. You can certainly look at the mailbox and get the, or the house number. You can get the address anyway.
Okay, he'll probably end up doing that, probably researching and letting Samuel know, later on about what he just watched. And since,
He knows blood magic a little bit better. Maybe he has an inkling of what the piss he just did.
Let's see. While you're doing this, are you doing this off on the sidewalk, or do you step onto the property?
oh no, he's going to continue to stay off to the side. He's not going to step foot on it.
Oh, I don't guess I needed this book after all. Okay.
I mean,
Why
warning
does it know
circles
that
are
it
only
says that-
useful until you try to go across them.
Well, no, that's the thing. He's sitting there, thinking logically. You wouldn't go around the border of a house with that kind of thing without the intention of this is going to alert or do something when someone crosses the boundary.
That's not unreasonable.
So, in the logic sense of it, it's just I want to get a good look. I really want to look at what's going on, but I'm not about to get screwed over here. So I'm going to play safe. I'm going to get what information I can off the side of the house, and then my fat tail's going to scurry away.
I'd be able to catch something when the car lights turn on when he drives off.
Like I said, he manages to get the house number and stuff anyway. And from the outside, nothing looks special about this house compared to anything else in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You've just observed this strangeness. All right, Blackjack.
Hello.
So you've taken care of your farm. You had a confrontation with the Brat Pack.
Mm-hmm.
What would you be doing with the rest of your evening?
I've got an evening to myself. Much like Samuel, I'll probably just check on my touchstone.
And what was his name again?
Ignacio.
Ignacio.
Because I had to give you some name to have struggle with.
Ignacio isn't too bad. I've heard that name before, at least.
Yeah.
So you venture over
He's
to the
the
next
big
farm, and you've probably met him or spoken to him before at some point, but you don't have a lot of interaction with him. You just sometimes spend your free time at the edge of his property, looking through his kitchen windows as him and his wife fix dinner. Or you stroll around his property looking at what a good job he does at the farm.
Admiring the irrigation system.
Also, well, I mean, his humanity is high enough. He can eat food.
My humanity's 8, so
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Hey,
Wow.
they can invite me to dinner.
Mhm.
And they probably have at some point. Like I said,
I would decline most of the time, but like every once in a while, yeah, sure.
Let's come over for like a drink or something.
I'd say I think Alexander's the only one that's like middle of the road.
And they're kind of under the assumption that you work somewhere during the day,
I let them assume it.
and that's that seems to be kind of what they've come to the assumption of. Oh, he's got a day job, and that's why he scrambles around in the early evening to try to get the farm taken care of.
I'm a little bit of a public speaker.
Motivational.
I'm not
speaker.
great at it. So I'm not great at it yet. So I'm just kind of like.
You broke up a little bit there for me, but I heard you're not great at it. So now I'm picturing you as a motivational speaker.
It's one of those things where like I'm not great at it, so I'm not like prolific at it just yet. So I'm working my way up the ladder, so to speak.
But like I said, you don't have real regular interaction with them, but they know you on sight, And sure enough, his animals look fine. It's January, so he doesn't really have anything growing. But
yeah. After this, if I'm just kind of watching. I text Jolene. You bored?
Always.
You at work?
Just escaped.
Oh, okay.
he was going to come have some waffles.
I was gonna get some waffles.
Actually, me double checking a thing now just to make sure I'm not leading you astray like I led myself astray.
Oh,
He
even
just
if
wants to make everyone throw up at the Waffle House.
everyone's gonna have to roll a waffle.
Well, with a 7, you can make a roll to keep it down for an hour, I think.
Yeah, he's an 8. Allows you to digest and taste wine. So no, he actually can't eat food.
I think Jolene's the only one that can eat food.
He could probably keep it down better than you did, or for longer.
Well, yeah, I'm humanity 6. I don't think he has to. He doesn't have to make a roll to keep it down. It looks like.
Well, it says he can drink wine, so he can just flat out drink the wine without any trouble. Solid food.
Yeah.
Just get it.
Vampires pretty much have to throw that stuff up eventually.
Yeah. But I can throw it up at my discretion and not like 2 minutes later.
I think there is a time frame.
I think it's just before you. I thought it was just before you rest.
At 8, it might be.
Yeah.
Unimportant at the moment.
Yeah. Just kind of texting Jolene while watching my touchstone kind of interact. A lot of it's
fuck,
just,
Joe.
a lot of it is stuff like. Do you remember what it was like when you were, human?
It was like 4 years ago. Yes.
You're sending this out over text?
No. I'm saying like past life instead of like human.
Just making sure that you're being careful with the tick.
At some point, if he started like giving like weird texts like that, you should just call him and be like, "Okay, what's going on?
Have you been drinking?
Are you drunk? Did you get one of the cows drunk and then take a sip?"
I'm just.
You don't even want to say that.
Now you know why.
Should've called.
Now you know why some princes and privileges ban technology. Period.
Yeah.
Because everybody goes, "Oh, we'll be careful with it." They're not careful with it.
I'm just weirdly.
Samuel's very careful, but that's because he has to use technology for his work.
Mhm.
Call it a weird nostalgia.
Nostalgia can be very dangerous for a vampire.
Oh yeah. Times you just long for things that used to be. Old loves, stuff like that.
At least you have good memories to look back on. Think of it that way.
Arguable. But thank you.
All right. At about this time, you see the couple you've been watching start, turn off the TV and get up. You realize they're probably getting ready for bed because it's kind of late by this point.
Fair enough.
You are not as late in the day as like Alexander just was.
Right. As I see them get ready to go to bed, I'm just like,
This is 11 or so,
yeah.
which is maybe a little late for a farmer to be going to bed, but it's winter. He ain't got to be up that early.
He's got nothing to really take care of.
He's got his animal, but there's not really a rush.
He had a season finale of a TV show to watch.
Something.
As they start going to bed, I'll just kind of take one last look at his handiwork and. Just taking one last look at his handiwork in the fields, and then just kind of walk off. Guy's a hard worker. I'm still on the phone with Jolene. This guy's a hard worker. Hard work pays off.
To a point.
It always gets noticed. Whether or not someone you want to notice is one thing or another, but it always gets noticed.
You say so, Blackjack. You're treating him like one of the drunks that shows up.
What is Blackjack's actual name?
It was. I had it. It was John Mulligan.
He's like, that's not nearly cool enough for a vampire. And then the Brat Pack gives him a nickname.
It was John Mulligan or something like that.
At some point, I'm going to ask you where the name Blackjack actually came from. Did you almost lose your farm gambling? Is that what he was?
We gotta start thinking up, man. We gotta start thinking up a reason.
Oh no, I'll find something.
So is Blackjack venturing off of his farm?
A little bit. Kind of this time he's just kind of cruising. Clear his mind.
Got his truck windows down. Blaring his bluegrass music.
There's always that one weirdo in January that has his arm out like that.
Yeah, screw the Masquerade.
Honestly, wasn't that?
I've seen humans do that.
It wasn't that cold.
Yeah, last January around here was actually fairly warm, relatively speaking.
Back up north at home, I used to stroll around outside at 2 in the morning in nothing but shorts, sandals, and a tank top and a hoodie.
Yeah. We used to live in Minnesota and would do similar stuff.
We used to hit the midnight releases at 2 in the morning while it snowed. Freezing at 2 in the morning. Yeah, that's what I'd wear. So.
Weirdos.
Yes, but you love me anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna clear his head a little bit.
Okay.
And that's about it, probably. He's got nothing. He's got not much else to do at the moment.
So it's getting kind of late. Let's see. Most of the stores in the Valley Bend Shopping Center would be closed. Probably all of them. Target's probably about the latest, one that stays open the latest. Now, are you just cruising? Is he just cruising to pass time, or is it like a patrol?
A little bit of both. He's multitasking.
Okay.
You learn to multitask as a farmer.
I mean, if Stardew teaches you anything, then that's beside the point.
Everything you do in Stardew is a little bit of multitasking. Sorry, I misheard if you wanted me to roll something for it.
Oh no.
I didn't. You froze up for a sec, so I didn't get to hear.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't say that. There's a few people out and about on the streets even at this time of night. Mostly in cars. You see a couple people, maybe homeless, that are moving around. You do see one woman in short sleeves, which is all that catches your attention about her. She's got they're basically bell bottoms that she's wearing. Not the big, super exaggerated ones, but she's got this whole kind of, hippie chic thing going on. Got a bandana tied up around her head.
The long, flowing blonde hair.
Sure, we'll go with blonde. But, what catches your attention, aside from, hippie, is, she's in short sleeves and just kind of strolling along. Some street or other. Carl T. Jones.
Was she driving or is she walking?
She's walking alongside the road.
Oh, okay.
Kind of headed up towards Airport Road.
Is there a parking between Carl T and Airport?
What now?
A parking spot between Carl T and Airport.
Oh, sure. You could. I know there's some church or other around there that's got a parking lot.
I'd park at a church for potentially unholy deeds.
Why would you be unholy deeding?
I don't know. We'll play it by ear, DM. Sorry, storyteller.
Okay, so yeah, you pull into the church park. You drive past her, you pull into a church parking lot.
And just kind of walk back, playing catch up, like I hadn't been watching her the whole time.
Oh, so you get out of your truck and get on the sidewalk yourself? Now, you had pulled past her and into this parking lot.
Something I recognize.
So do you wait for her to walk by and then kind of follow in behind her, or?
Oh no, I'm like ships in the night thing.
Oh, you're walking.
Yeah.
Let me see if she noticed.
Trying to get it.
Let me see if she noticed you pull into
Sure.
the church parking lot like that. Were you trying to be subtle about it?
I mean, it's one of those things where I'd like to do the kind of turn in.
You froze up on me.
Yeah.
You do the what now?
I'd say I try to be subtle. Whether or not I am subtle is a different issue.
All right, let's see. Roll me.
Of course.
Subterfuge. And dexterity isn't really appropriate here.
Would it also be charisma for a social cue?
Manipulation.
That'll work. Didn't expect anything. I got nothing, it's subterfuge.
You're a very straightforward fellow. Wow, you were only rolling 100 dice. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, she, well, you don't know if she noticed you or not. But you pull into the parking lot, you get out, and you start walking down towards her.
Just kind of making eye contact with her.
Well, it's dark, so, I mean, there are some street lights, but...
As we get close enough, I'm making eye contact.
She's kind of looking at you like, You see her reach into her pocket and pull out. She's got this little, like, spray bottle.
Ma'am. Keep walking.
She just kind of gives you a nod. Looks back over her shoulder at you.
Don't even look back.
Weirdo.
That's valid. I'll wait for her to like go that way, thinking I'm still being, sneaky about it, and then I'll go loop around and go back to my car and go back to my farm.
As far as you know, she just keeps walking up Airport Road, which is basically a big hill, and it goes back over into the rest of town. Where you've got the Jones Valley area, and you've got like basically the mountain the ledge is on top of. You've also got a pretty good sized hill over there where the Walton Mountain is. And that's what makes, the Jones Valley.
Right. So, basically, yeah, I'll wait for her to ostensibly go past the church and wherever else she may be going. And then I'll loop around and go get in my truck and go back to my farm. Still thinking I'm being pretty sneaky.
Oh, yeah, give me an awareness roll as you were walking past her.
Sure.
I can't think if she needs to give you one, too.
That's something. That's not nothing.
As you walk past, you notice her breath was not misting.
Was not misting?
Yeah. You couldn't see her breath, and it's January at night. It's cold enough.
No. She noticed my... Oh, I guess I wouldn't... Huh.
And she was watching you kind of close, so, maybe she noticed some stuff about you, too. Who knows?
A big boy in dirty overalls. I don't know what she's going to notice. Yeah, and I'll get my truck and head back to my farm.
Okay. Let's see.
I have a question for the storyteller.
Yes, go ahead.
Would I recognize my my sire like that?
Oh yeah. You know exactly who she is. It's not like you're not like Jolene, who her sire could walk up and pinch her nose and she wouldn't know it was him.
Right.
Let's see, what was your sire's name? Lynn?
Lynn, yes.
Yeah. You're on decent relationships with Lynn, so yeah. You know Lynn. If she's in town, she's probably gonna swing by the farm and see how you doing.
We're not overtly antagonistic, but I kind of think she's an anarch.
The trick is, does that really matter much to Blackjack?
Not necessarily, but it might matter to his coterie, so he keeps it on the DL.
So really, the Brat Pack wasn't completely wrong. You're not especially loyal to the Camarilla. It's just kind of this is just where my farm is, so this is who I am.
My loyalty is to my coterie, who happens to be part of the Camarilla, who I have to be loyal to on some level as a result.
So basically, you wouldn't go pick no fights with the Anarchs down in Decatur, but if they tried to come here, maybe a fight.
Yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do.
But yes, you would recognize Lynn. This is definitely not Lynn.
Okay, that's kind of what I was like double checking. I was like, what are you doing?
Walking the very borders of your coterie, or of your domain, it looked like.
Yeah.
Which, a vampire traveling through your domain is not a violation.
Sure.
If they had their haven there, yeah, probably. They were hunting, certainly.
However, we have just recently recovered from a
poacher.
Yeah. Poacher, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you would have every right to stop somebody in your domain and ask them what they're doing.
I'm not. It's not something that I'm going to ask. I'm just gonna keep a notepad description of a brief description of what she looked like, so I can at some point relay it to Samuel or whoever else.
Okay.
Just an off chance.
Well, she's pretty distinctive looking.
Exactly.
She was also a hottie, just so you know.
Yeah.
And you've got a high enough humanity that you still notice things like that. Hey.
Besides, do the whole man.
Alright, so we're going to wrap up here. When we take up next week, we will jump to Sunday. And the Elysium that's been called. Where did I say that was going to be? Oh, yes, the old bank. And we will see what it is the prince wishes to announce. There will be a brief. Let's see. This is Sunday. There'll be a brief something for Saturday, as just before dawn, Samuel, just as you're getting ready to retire for the day, you get a text from. Crap, how am I blanking her name again?
The same student?
Yeah. I never wrote her name down. Pearl, something Pearl.
Started with the J.
Jackie Pearl. You get a text from her. When you're up and about, Headmaster wants to see you. Or she'd probably say Professor, because that sounds less weird in a college town. Once you're up and about, Professor says he wants to see you. Which is a little odd. I mean, it's not odd that he didn't text you himself, because he don't text, but... but he wants to see you, ASAP, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
What time of day is it?
It's right before dawn when you get this.
Oh.
I mean, like 30, 40 minutes.
Okay. I'll just respond. Very well.
You get a smiley face back.
Then I'll just go to bed.
Yes, you can't be sure. Is she that juvenile with her text, or is she that clever? Because nobody would think anything of it when they say that.
Or is it that dire?
Well, I just meant her constant use of emojis. Doesn't fit in with the typical Tremere imagery. So next week you'll have a brief conversation with Alejandro probably before we move fairly quickly into Sunday and the Elysium. Let's see. Any other questions? Everybody give yourself an experience. I'll say that now while I'm thinking about it.
Yay, experience.
Yeah, the superhero game I run. I finally remember to give them their experience. We're on episode... I think we recorded episode 21. And I had not given them experience since episode 9.
Oh, jeez.
They were surprisingly patient about it.
Yeah.
But we're doing this thing where they all have like 6 characters and we bounce around to different parts of the world and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's less noticeable, they're not playing like one character that long and not getting anything.
Got it.
But that's not here nor there. For anybody watching at home, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope my players enjoyed it. I certainly had a good time. We've got hints for a few of the upcoming plot threads. Let's see. Come back here tomorrow, and we should have Monster of the Week. Thursday should be Descent into Avernus. Then we are done for the weekend and should be back on Monday with the escorts, since this Monday is on a holiday. And then, of course, next week on Tuesday, we'll be back here in the Valley. Been your storyteller, Jason, and with me has been Eric playing Samuel, Sarah playing Jolene, Rat playing Maeve, Aduba playing Alexander, and Decca playing Blackjack. John Mulligan. And we will see you next time.